Hey guys, all right, so we are going to start our introduction to atoms. So real quick, your journal, you have your table of contents, and I skipped a page just because I know we're gonna need more than that. And then you have your do nows on here. So this is set up just like your online notebook. So this was today's do now, the lab safety, where you were to write about what lab safety rule you think is most important. And so then on page 9, we have introduction to atoms. Okay, so I'm going to go over the notes, and then tomorrow we will talk about what they actually are in depth. And then that way these notes will make a little bit more sense. Okay, so our first one is atoms. So it is made up of subatomic particles and it is the smallest unit of matter. And every solid, liquid, and gas is made of atoms. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. All right, and then you're going to draw a little picture. So I understand not everybody is an artist, and that's okay. Okay, so that is my my little atom there, and this is a nucleus, but we'll talk about all of that in class. All right, and then next we have electrical charge. Okay, and that is going to be positive or negative. And it's the basic property. All right, and so when it is positive, we will have that as yellow. And then when it is negative, we will have that as red. All right, and then we have a neutron. And it weighs close to a proton. And it has no electrical charge. So that means it's not positive or negative. So I'll put that here. And we'll color those green. So if you don't have colored pencils or markers yet, I suggest that you pick some of those up soon too. All right, and so we have our protons. And that is a positively charged subatomic particle. And all subatomic means is it's smaller than an entire atom. So we have our atom, which is this, and then we have our smaller pieces or our subatomic pieces, which are these right here, our neutron, our proton, and our electron. So I'll go ahead and draw that yellow again. All right, and then lastly, we have our electron. And that is the opposite. It is a negatively charged subatomic particle. And so again, that is going to be red. And I messed up right here, but it's okay, we'll fix it. That's my little arrows going in. So here you can pause the video if you need to, or if not, then we'll go ahead and move to our next page. So I'm going to write on page 11 to continue this, because we will have something on the back of page 9. So on page 10, we're gonna have something, so that's why I'm gonna continue it here. So this is Atoms Vocabulary, Part 2. All right, so we have valence electrons. And these are in the outer shell. So think about it, if you have a jacket on, the inside is going to be your nucleus, and then your t-shirt will be your first rings of electrons, and then your outermost ring or your jacket is your valence electrons are out there. So they are your outer shell electrons, and they help with chemical bonds. So as an example, they determine flame colors when it's on fire. So that's just an example. So inside your nucleus, you have your protons and you have your neutrons. And they're all together in the nucleus. And then your electron cloud has these here. Notice I'm drawing it a little bit different than we had it on the other page. And that's because our atoms can be represented different ways. So here's some electrons. And here's some electrons. So these out here, those are the valence electrons. So they're in the outermost shell. They're very outside. Okay, another word that we need to know is mass. And that is just another word that we use for weight. So how heavy the electron is. Okay, and then we have our nucleus. Okay, and so that is the core of an atom. And just like an apple core, it is the very center of the apple. It's also the very center of an atom. And it contains protons and neutrons. It's positively charged. And it's the heaviest part of the atom. So it has the most mass, the most weight. It's the heaviest. So remember, our protons are positive and our neutrons are neutral. So the way you can think of it is it's like adding positive numbers and 0. So if you add a positive number and 0, your answer will still be positive, right? Because these are not able to cancel each other out. So our neutrons are green. And then our protons are yellow. So that may be hard to see, but it just says protons are yellow. Actually, I think I'm gonna go over that in orange. Protons are yellow. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay. And then our next phrase or words is electron cloud. So it is the space around the nucleus that electrons orbit in. So in the picture that we had up here, you can see our electrons travel around the nucleus, and that's completely accurate, but this is like a still shot. So that's like if you've ever taken a picture and someone's moving and you see a blur, that blur is like the electron cloud. Okay, and so this is like we got a good picture of the atom and everything is still and you can see everything individually, but in reality, the electrons are always moving around the nucleus. And because of that, it creates kind of like a little cloud or a little blur around the nucleus. So, sorry y'all. And again, these outside ones are the valence electrons. And so these are moving. So this is going to be kind of like a little cloud that goes all around our nucleus because they're moving so fast that all you see is a blur when you try and take a picture. And so that, ladies and gentlemen, will be it for our notes for today. And I know it was quite a few, but you'll be fine. So get all these notes down, and we will be using them and referencing them tomorrow in class. So yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, send me a message on Teams. I will see y'all tomorrow.